everyone, welcome to the program. I'm Rebecca McLaughlin-Eastham, and this week we're in Dubai at the Arabian travel market, which is celebrating its 26th edition with more than 150 countries represented on the ground. We speak to the CEO of Sri Lankan Airlines about the attacks that took place recently in the country.
Of course, we see cancellations coming up from the European destinations, but our other markets like India, Middle East has been holding on.
Plus, we'll bring you our one-on-one with the CEO of Emirates Airline, the world's biggest carrier for international passengers.
I always optimistic about the future, even what was going on around us.
But first, we head to a beach in Abu Dhabi to meet marine conservationists who are making waves, all in the name of ecotourism.
And they're off. These hawksbill turtles are some of the 80 making their way back home to the Arabian Gulf. They will become part of the population of 7,000 sea turtles, which include green turtles that inhabit Abu Dhabi's waters.
These hawksbill hatchlings are not just racing to the waters, but for the survival of their species. As their global numbers continue to decrease to dangerous numbers, they've been considered nearly extinct for over a decade, according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature.
The hawksbill, which gets its name from having a beak-like mouth and 2 claws on their flippers, grow lethargic during the winter months, as barnacles attach to their shells, weighing them down. As a result, they become malnutrition, infected with diseases, and tend to wash up on shores. Marine biologist Emily Armstrong, who works for a luxury, eco-friendly hotel, which launched in Abu Dhabi 5 months ago, monitors its beaches for animals like the hawksbill.
In terms of how many we've rescued, there's about 65 that us personally at Jumeirah have helped along the way, from Saadiyat Beach. However, across the UAE, across Abu Dhabi, they estimate like 80 to 100 every year at least will get washed up through injuries or sickness.
Armstrong says the human factor, like collisions with speedboats and the littering of single-use plastic, are jeopardizing the existence of sea snappers that can lay up to 115 eggs per nest.
When the hatchlings are in the nest, actually their gender is determined by temperature. So the warmer nest will produce more females, cooler nests will produce more males. So with climate change and temperatures rising all the time, it's particularly a pressing issue because so many females are being born and not so many males.
The world's population of birds, mammals, fish, reptiles and amphibians have declined about 60% from 1970 to 2014, according to the World Wildlife Fund. And some hospitality outfits in the UAE are looking to do their bit for ecology while maintaining business as usual. Like Sharjah, where the Kingfisher Lodge offers a nomadic tent experience, allowing guests to kayak through mangroves, witness sea turtles hatching, and spot rare bird species. It's a type of ecotourism some experts say is on the regional rise.
I think ecotourism really has bright future. Ecotourism is something that is now exploring market segments such as luxury one.
In contrast to ecotourism, there's the idea of ego-tourism, which identifies travelers looking to visit exotic locations more for bragging rights than ecology, while leaving an unintentional environmental footprint in their wake.
As long as it's controlled and sustainable to an extent, I wouldn't really question people's motivations for going to certain places.
The global ecotourism market is expected to rise up to values in the high millions up to the year 2023, according to Orbis research, as travelers continue to look for that combination of luxury fun and sustainability.
Many executives on the ground this year at ATM have been discussing the latest travel trends and how technology continues to disrupt the sector, whilst other industry leaders have been talking about how they are currently having to navigate challenging times. In the wake of the April 21st attacks in Sri Lanka, the country's tourism ministry has revised down this year's projected visitor numbers by 500,000 people to 2 million. The CEO of Sri Lankan Airlines told Euronews at ATM that whilst the National Air Force had taken charge of ground security, the state-owned carrier was looking to bring air marshals on board some flights. He added that despite the current situation, day-to-day operations couldn't be ignored.
Business, if you look at in terms of the passenger numbers and the forward bookings, we have seen about 10% decline. Of course, we see cancellations coming up from the European destinations. But our other markets like India, Middle East has been holding on.
Can I ask you what strategy you're putting into place to change your loss-making airline into a profitable one?
The turnaround plan, what we submitted to the government, we were expecting to reach a break-even situation in 3 years' time. They have been looking for a private investor, but that will get delayed, I believe, with the current situation. The biggest problem is the high interest costs, like about 45% of our loss is due to the interest financing costs.
Also speaking to Inspire at ATM was the head of the world's largest long-haul carrier, Emirates. Sheikh Ahmed said the airline was re-evaluating its fleet and seeking compensation from Boeing for the 14 grounded 737 MAX jets used by its sister company and low-cost carrier Fly Dubai, which has been forced to suspend many flights. The CEO added that following the 2 fatal crashes of 737s with other airlines in recent months, communication from Boeing's side, quote, could be better. He also added it presents an opportunity for Emirates to talk to rival Airbus. His Highness ruled out any impending airline acquisitions, including a tie-up with Etihad Airways of Abu Dhabi. And on the earnings front, despite first-half profits having dropped 86% to $62 million, Sheikh Ahmed said that the numbers would be much improved, with a profit, not a loss, when the company reports its full-year results on May the 9th. Your Highness, a very warm welcome to Euronews.
Hello.
Thank you for speaking to me today.
You're most welcome.
Let me start by talking about one of the major themes at ATM, the digital transformation of the travel and tourism sector. Is technology saving your company money yet?
We need to be able to do things much faster than we used to do things 10 years back. And this is something that we are betting. Everybody look today into the 5Gs and what exactly will happen with that transformation.
Now, India is a very important strategic market for you. You've got 6 new routes there, but you're limited in terms of how much more you can expand. Do you think as a result of the elections at the end of May that things might change, the regulations might ease a little bit?
You know, I think everybody needs those seats. They need the extra seats. It's not only us, but also the Indian carriers. Yes, it's a growing market. When we look at India, we look at China, and we need those seats. So I hope that it will happen very soon, regardless of the election or not.
Now, one of your runways is currently closed, temporarily closed, 45-day period. But in terms of the reduction of flights and seats available, how is that impacting you financially?
Yeah, it will be a bit impacting, but something that we have to do every 10 years to be able to continue and for the next 10 years. Yeah, it made us cut a lot of a big number of flights, over 30% for Emirates and also for Fly Dubai. I'm glad to say that things are going very well in this regard, so we'll be on time.
6 months ago, you said the next 6 months will be very tough. We sit here 6 months later. Has anything changed, especially on the balance sheet front?
I think we should be waiting till the 9th to announce those results, but I'm happy to say that it's going to be a positive result. Maybe a lot of, or a number of airlines posted a negative number. So in our case, I would say it's going to be positive, and I always optimistic about the future, even what was going on around us, within our area, from weather to politics.
And to the oil price, of course, which had such a big impact on your last results. That and foreign exchange, currency fluctuations. Right. Looking at the oil price, where is the sweet spot for you? Are you happy where it currently stands?
Anything below 60 will be good for us, you know, but we cannot control that market. I know we're not talking about hedging today as we speak, but we leave that option is open. It takes a lot of effort and time to monitor that. It's gambling a bit to do something like that, but something that we will always look at.
In terms of your A380 fleet, and following the cut in orders, Airbus, of course, have said that they're suspending the Super Jumbo in 2021. Do you believe in any way that could have been avoided?
We did support the A380 program from day one. That's why we have today 109 aircraft. So we will go to up to, I think, 123 aircraft, and you will see this aircraft flying with Emirates even after 2030. I think you've seen us also introducing some smaller aircraft to the fleet when we talk about if it is the A350 or the A330 Neo in that regard, or the 787 and so on. So that option is always open, and you know that Boeing also discontinued the 747s as for engine. So I think the reliability of the twin jet, the distance that they can fly today, the size they are there, so maybe it will be only twin engines.
Talk to me about Damascus. I know that Emirates have been monitoring the situation in terms of resuming flights since they were suspended around 2011. Can you give me a progress report? When will you be flying back into Syria?
We try to avoid the Syrian airspace because for a security reason. It is an extra distance that we have to run. That means more fuel that we have to burn. So I hope when we'll be allowed by the Civil Aviation Authority of the UAE that we can overfly there.
Your Highness, it's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for speaking to me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. All the best.
Well, that is a wrap of our show. We hope that you enjoyed it, and don't forget you can catch all of our programmes online at euronews.com. Before I say goodbye, here are some inspiring travel social media posts that caught the attention of the team this week. Louisa from Russia hopped on a plane to Oman to marvel at the Royal Opera House in Muscat. Rue from China shared this shot, recommending making friends with camels in Jordan's Wadi Rum Desert. And Blessy from the Philippines is teaching her daughter about conservation in the capital with the help of these turtles.